Well, it's a new day here in my area, and I'm loving it because the sky is blue and our climate is very comfortable right now. It's a little bit on the cool side, and I just wanted to just say good morning and let's talk a little bit about Sandoval Engineering, custom guitars. As you can see here, this is one of my custom telecasters that I've built. As you can see, if you look closely at the pinstriping that's at the base of the bridge, that was my inspiration for this guitar, one of them anyway. I mean, just the fact that I created a new headstock design using my logo and incorporating these graphics, that kind of sets the mood and changes the style of this guitar. Yeah, it looks like a Tele. No, I don't claim design rights to the Telecaster. Our infamous and absolute incredible Leo Fender designed that, but bottom line, what I did here was customize it. And that's what I'm known for. It's a alder body. It might even be an ash body. It could be swamp ash, or it could be a little denser version of the ash. But nonetheless, it's both of those woods are actually good for creating that Telecaster tone. Typically, you'll have a pickguard on a guitar of this nature, but what I chose was just a little bezel that was custom made to fit around the front Tele pickup. It's very typical, it's very stock. It has your volume with your master volume with the master tone, and then a three-way selector. The bridge is a customized Tele bridge that's anodized black. Obviously, you can see the black hardware, which just pops out, with a light background. It's just the opposite color spectrum of dark on light background. It could be the reverse, where you have light, which would be chrome, on a dark background. So anyway, it's a basic 4-bolt bolt-on Telecaster. And it's got the custom graphics, the custom butterscotch color, which is pretty unique. It stands out. I mean, you can see, if I was on stage wearing dark clothes, black or dark blue or whatever, I mean, you can see how it would just pop and stand out. It's a custom headstock, modified and created by myself, Karl Sandoval. It's a maple neck with a truss rod that would be just adjusted at the base of the neck. As you can see, it's not on the front of the headstock. Nice Sandoval logo. The general census of this graphics is somewhat of a hot rod theme. If my right hand wasn't there covering up the guitar, you would see that it's basically a long black triangle that's wide at the base of the guitar, and it points out to the front pickup. That's what you would see under my hand, of course in black, and then the highlighted graphics around the horn and the strap button area and the two corners of the base of the guitar. The black on butterscotch theme is pretty unique. Pretty radical looking, although it's got some subtle appearance to it. I mean, it's not extremely loud. If you looked at it, you would see that, there's something different about it, since there's no pickguard, and, the black hardware, the back control cover plate usually is a typical top mount setup on Telecasters. The pickups are no doubt DiMarzio's, because I use a lot of DiMarzio pickups. I've been with DiMarzio pretty much since day one. And on occasion I'll put in Seymour Duncan's because they're, oh, we've got some shadow going on here. Sorry about that. Um, Seymour Duncan's I've used on occasion. They're a great pickup. DiMarzio's are a little more affordable, and this is what I had to go with when I first started. This guitar was built, I would say, well, let's see, I'm going to shoot for the 90s. Somewhere in the 90s. It could have been the beginning of the 90s or the middle of the 90s, but it was one of my customs that I had built for sale to a deserving Telecaster player, which that means everybody. You know, you got to admit, you know, I've got to say that all my customers are pros, trendsetters, and just great fans, and I love them all. All of you guys are just awesome. So, you know, this guitar could have fit a professional artist as well as a layman artist that's just starting out. They're affordable, nothing outrageous, but you got to remember that I'm in the custom realm of guitars, and so yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more of a custom price. But yet, think about it. If you look at the guitar, it sets itself out compared to a typical stock Telecaster. Custom headstock, custom graphic, custom hardware. It is a standard typical maple on maple Tele neck. Now, like most companies, I glue my fingerboards onto the back of the neck, and there's a truss rod set in the middle. It's usually a two-way adjustable truss rod, which I discovered a long time ago from a company in Ohio. But this guitar has a high gloss finish on the neck, which means it's on the fingerboard. And you know, I don't know if you've ever seen or know of anybody that's put a finish on a Tele neck. It's or any kind of a neck for that matter. It's a little time consuming because once you finish the entire neck, I mean, spraying on top of the fingerboard and the back as well, and the headstock, the entire neck, you have to take that finish off the frets, and that's a little trialsome. It does take some expertise, because one of the issues is you can end up chipping around the frets and making excuse me, and making the fingerboard look pretty raunched out. But particularly, I don't really like finishes on fretboards. I'm used to the rosewood or ebony feel, which is an oil feel. The frets on this guitar are typical medium fret. And of course the action, it's just phenomenal. This guitar played and sounds absolutely fantastic. So if you're ever in the market for a Telecaster, you might want to consider one of my custom Teles. And you know, the gates are open for all sorts of customizing. I mean, you have a choice of hardware, chrome, black, or gold. You have a choice of graphics, although all my graphics are typically different in a sense. They're not always identical. And I got to point out, when somebody sends me a text and they go, yeah, I want a guitar just like, I want it to be perfectly like, I want it to be exactly like, you know, I'm not a computer, and as you all very well know, my guitars are handcrafted. They are custom handcrafted guitars. In other words, a strong percentage of effort is put towards building this guitar, fabricating it, assembling it, and setting it up by hand. Back in the day, I remember I used to rub out my guitars sometimes by hand, and then with a small handheld buffer that I had bought from Sears. But I have a larger buffer wheel now that I use. My paints back in the olden days were nitrocellulose. Now I'm using a polyester style paint, which is just phenomenal. It will patina in age after a while, but it does have a more durable texture to it, and instead of it cracking and chipping when it's hit, at impact, it usually just will make a dent, but this body and the face of the headstock and the clear on the neck are a polyester clear. And a great guitar, phenomenal playing guitar. The bridge saddles, there should be, it looks like there's 6 inline, I'm sorry, 6 saddles, and of course it's 6 inline tuners. You know, I'll just take in any type of telecaster orders for the rockers that love that Tele sound, that real bright bridge tone and that mellow tone in the front. I mean, it's a fabulous guitar designed by a fabulous designer and creator, like I say, Leo Fender. Now I want to point out a few things about this photo. I mean, it's kind of an unusual and untypical pose that I would normally do. You know, I got the stash going on, and you know, a little bit of gray and the shades, and I've got a son that's pretty creative, and he actually was telling me about, you know, typical areas and where I would and how I should pose and settings and so forth. This was a photo shoot that him and I did, my son Kevin. We would just take guitars in a car, throw them in the trunk, get a camera, and then just drive around and look for locations around the city of Whittier, Santa Fe Springs area, and just find some spots that we thought would look cool as a backdrop for me posing with some of my instruments. You know, my image is somewhat of a radical image, but I'm not radical at all, trust me. Cool guy, kind-hearted, willing to work with you. You know, and that's something I'd really like to mention here. If you're ever interested in a guitar, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't look at my photos and my postings and my website and all my social media and think that it's not possible ever to get one of my guitars. I really ask, and I want to emphasize this, I really ask that anyone who is interested in a custom guitar built, call me, text me, get in touch with me, talk to me. It can be worked out. I've worked out some impossible situations with people that they don't have a lot of money, and that's most of us. We don't have money, and it's hard to come up with thousands of dollars at one shot. I have payment plans that I really believe that are vital to anyone, male or female, whatever you are. You know, ordering a guitar. You just simply don't be afraid to talk to me. Don't be afraid to encourage your efforts on working towards a deal. On occasion, I may give a discount. You know, I can usually tell an original and sincere story versus somebody that's just hyping it up and just trying to get a good deal. We all know there's scammers out there, and I really love the fact that there are people that are sincere, honest, and truthful. And those are the people that I really like to work with, and those are the people that fortunately will get the greatest deal. But I'm an easygoing guy. Talk to me. Don't be afraid to talk to me. I love all the comments. I have people that just really spill out their sincerity and just give me these unbelievable labels, you know, which, you know, it's flattering and I appreciate it, but, you know, as humble as I am, you know, thank you. And I'm a normal guy, normal dude that's out there as a craftsman building custom guitars, and I would love to build one for you. Let's talk. Let's talk and get your beautiful, customized, handcrafted Sandoval engineering custom guitar built by myself. Let's get one in your hands. And they are affordable. May take a little time to do a payment plan, but they are affordable, and that procedure has been very successful with many guitarists around the world. So keep in mind also that I deal in trades. If you've got a vintage vacuum tube piece of gear of some sorts, whether it be audio, there we go. The clouds are coming in. Watch out. Now, if you have a piece of tube gear, whether it be a guitar amplifier, vintage test equipment, audiophile, hi-fi, radio, something that I might be interested in, I'd have to see it though first, that could be put down as part of a trade with some cash. But, like, you know, the point is, there's a lot of avenues of how to get a guitar, and I have a lot of interest. Vintage Harley-Davidson motorcycle parts. Come on, people, I know they're out there, and I know you guys have them in your garage sitting along the bottom of the side of the wall collecting dust and all full of oil. You got test gear, vacuum tube gear that's up in the attic, up in a shelf, in a closet, under the bed, you know. Let's make it happen. But anyway, I just wanted to share this video. Oh, and by the way, thanks again for all the wonderful comments. And I'd appreciate any type of donations or financial support. This will help keep these videos running. And it's not because I want to get wealthy. It's because sometimes things are due and need payment, and I may not have the money. So what I receive as gifts is extremely appreciated and helpful. So if you have done that in the past, thank you. If you're going to do that in the future, double thank you. I appreciate all your efforts. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be more to come. We'll talk about some other of my guitars. I really like to feature and will feature other additions to what I have done in the past. And you know, practice, 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 man. Give yourself a lot of seat time, and you'll be surprised. In the end, it will all pay off, and you will be a monster guitarist. If you are already one, well, that's great. You'll be even more of a monster guitarist. But anyway, listen, I'm going to get going here. God bless and thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video.